Is it working? Sign-in sheet back there. I'll just have to make notes and have my phone beep every 3 seconds. Now you need to do this. Can you see it?
Yeah.
He can. He tilted it that way. So he can see it better. Okay, so random numbers. We have a random number generator from C#, that class. And the way it works, we have to instantiate an instance of the random number generator. And then we use that instance to request our random number. So there it is. For example, we might have code like this. So looking at that code, what's the name of our random number generator instance?
Random.
Random. Does everybody agree? That's the name or identifier of that random number instance. And then why, when we generate the random number, why is it 1, 7? I thought we wanted 1 through 6 is random numbers for a die. Why would I have 1 through 7?
I know the answer to this one, but
Isn't it a word in between those numbers? It doesn't actually, unless it's all seven.
It's characters.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
And it is with characters too.
That's a good way to put it. It's going to return the number between, well, from 1 up to 6.9999999. Right. So that's why we have to use the number above what our highest number value desired is.
so it's less than 7, not less than or equal to 7.
Exactly. Less than 7. And that one is definitely on the C# certification exam, that you have to go 1 above the number you're looking for when you generate a random number. So we want to make sure we're just totally clear on that one. So this little method here instantiates a random number generator, generates the random number, and just returns it. So that's all it does. So whenever we're generating a random number, the algorithm that generates that random number requires a seed value. And that's just some sort of beginning digits for it to use in its algorithm processing to generate this random number. So C#, like many other languages, uses the current time as the seed value. So that current time is very long, right out to the millisecond. And they say that way it's going to be a unique value. But C# is very fast. So with our method that I created here, if it keeps running repeatedly for all 6 of our die, that seed value for that random number generator is basically going to be almost identical for each of those die. And we could end up with the same number generated for all of them. We won't get that randomness that we need. So we need to make it where our random number generator is only instantiated once, one time.
Before you get too far away from the idea of seed numbers, let's suppose we, for whatever reason, we want to have random values, but we want to have the same random values for each user. Is there a way to just flat out tell it, use this seed number every time?
When you instantiate your random number generator, we'll double check, or I'll let you double check whenever you are using the IDE and see what IntelliSense says, but I believe you can pass a parameter that's your seed number. Now, you're still not going to be guaranteed to generate the same random numbers because there is randomness, you know, in the algorithm, but you would be pretty close.
Naturally not sure how often, but that's not something that I would have a hard time finding out on the internet.
Right.
Okay.
It shouldn't be at all, but I believe that's the parameter that you could pass as your own seed number. And you might even see code that says, you know, .now or whatever for the date time to pass in that actual value for programmers that'll force it and make sure it's using that current time as a seed number. Okay, so our seed number needs to be really random, really unique. We need to instantiate that random number generator only once, because otherwise we're going to be wasting a lot of resources, because for every die we process, we instantiate the random number generator, we generate a random number, then we break down that object and throw all those resources away. Then our next die, we instantiate a random number generator, and we generate that number, then we throw all those resources away. So we want to use static variables and a static method. And throughout C#1, I kept saying, well, we're going to see a place where it'll totally make sense, hopefully, why you use static. Right here it is. I could, if I wanted to, create a class named role. In my class, I'm going to instantiate my random number generator once at the beginning of my class and say it's static. Remember, static means I only have one instance of this in memory. So no matter how many versions of my game are being played, if I have a multiprocessor, or how many dice are being rolled, I'm only going to use this one static number generator. So it's going to be able to use that seed number value first, update it so that the next time it generates a random number, it's more random. So we won't see those repeating values. Now, in order for me to use this static instance of a random number, my method needs to be marked static. So here's my method now. Instead of it just being a dynamic thing that instantiates the random number generator and spits it out, it's a whole class that says, I am going to generate a random number generator once, and every time somebody calls this roll D6 method, I'll be using that same instance of that random number generator because it'll go through. Questions? Tell me what you're thinking about it. Does that make sense as to why that would be static? Could I put this in my die D6 class?
No, because your random number generator is private, and so it's only really available in this class.
Well, I mean, could I just move this code here into my die D6 class, even though it's a static method and a static variable? It would be okay. I could put it in there. I just wanted to put it in its own class so that you guys were thinking about it as kind of a separate thing because it's a static method. But we could have that as part of our die D6 class. It would all work fine. We would just have this static method and our static random number generator. So think about this, think about it as you generate your different values for your dice. Now, the code that I sent you the other day, I'm going to be changing a little bit while you guys are working, and I'll send it to you again. What I'm going to do is, in the same way as I set up our random number generator to be a class level field, I'm going to move my dice array in my form up to the class level so that I can access that array in any of the methods of my form class. I'm going to add a separate load image for the dice placeholders for my form load, like maybe a rose or something. And instead of trying to use the different dice images, I just wanted to do that for testing. And then I'm going to be updating the naming of my image file so that I can set that image variable dynamically instead of having to worry about what image file I'm using. So not a lot of changes. You guys are making great progress. I'm going to stop now. I just wanted you to really think about the random number generator because that can cause people trouble. If you don't make it static, you're creating a new instance of a random number generator every time you call it. So it's using that current time. Well, how fast is C#? Really fast. So you're going to have that same seed value over and over. So what people will do, what I've seen people do in the past, people will put sleep statements in their code to slow it down so that it'll get a new random number. That is never something that you want to do as a developer. I'm going to slow my program down. Usually we don't, sometimes. But we can take care of it just by making it a static variable so that it doesn't get recalled. So good questions. Anything else? Thinking about it. And I'll post that because I was just trying to think about a way that we could really get across that needs to be a static variable and a static method for our role. Play with it and see. That's all I've got. Let me know if you have any other questions, but today just want you to have time to work with your group. So let me know if you have questions.